You may have all the wonderful ideas and things you think you might want to achieve in this life, but they may never come to pass until you do this. Planning is the process of thinking about and organizing certain specific activities. It's the process of having actionable steps you can take that will ensure that this dream or goal or vision you have becomes a reality. Bible gives the example of this manager who was managing the affairs of a very wealthy man. Word got to the owner that the manager was mismanaging the affairs. So the owner sought to relieve the manager of his duties. And the manager sat down and thought to himself, hey, if my master comes for my job, what will I do? Because right now I am too old to go and be digging trenches for money. And I'm also too proud to beg. I'm also too proud to beg people for money. So what will I do? Now, this is a very important step. You see, from here, we can realize that his goal was to, or his aim was to ensure that he remains financially free and independent, where he doesn't have to go and beg people for money after work. He was imagining a life where he will be okay and he will have whatever he needs without having to go and dig or do anything stressful at his old age for. It's not enough to just have the idea of living comfortably and having everything. How do you get there? And that was the question he was asking himself. He needed a plan. He needed something, steps to take to make that idea become a reality. So he thought and he said, alas, this is what I will do. First of all, I'm going to look at my master's records and look for all the people who owe him something. Number two, I'm going to use my position now that I still have it to be able to create a rapport and a relationship with them such that when I leave this place, I will never be hungry. He was going to use his position to network or to make sure that the people are sort of indebted to him such that he will never have to beg. If he leaves the place, he will have a consistent flow of income or favor from these people he was going to help. So number three, he listed all these people down. He looked through the records, and then this is what he did. If somebody were to owe the master about 1,000 gallons of oil, you ask the person, come. These are the documents. Change this from 1,000 to 800. And this is what he was doing. The person owes the master flour, this, that. He reduced the quantity. And the people felt very, very, very indebted and grateful to him. Bible says that the master had to even admire him for how shrewd he had been. You see, Jesus was not telling us this parable because he wants us to be dishonest in any way, but he wanted us to learn from this shrewd manager. So from this Bible is not telling us to be dishonest, but Bible wants us to learn from how shrewd and wise this manager was, how he was able to use his mind and his position to get an actionable plan to ensure that his idea of staying financially free and being okay without depending on anybody became a reality. Okay, things don't just happen. Sometimes you need to organize efforts, get a particular pathway for yourself, things you need to do consistently to be able to meet or accomplish the goal that you have to. The things will not just fall in your lap. The Bible says that God gives us the desire and the power to accomplish the things that please him. So it means that the desire alone, the desire to be great, the desire to have 1,000-seater congregation, the desire to be very wealthy, all of those things are not enough. You need to do certain things that will ensure that you accomplish it. And that is why God is even giving you the power in addition to accomplish those little tasks so that you can get that dream or goal. So like the shield manager did, what is your goal? What is that dream? And your dream has to be specific. It's that you don't just say I want to be wealthy or I want to be a great man of God. What is wealth to you? You need to define it. What is a great man of God? What does that mean to you? Okay, so instead of just saying I want to be wealthy, maybe I want to have maybe $10 million or $100 million in my bank account by this time or within this couple of years. So it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, attainable, it has to be realistic and you need to set a timeline to it. Okay, I want to have a 20 or 30,000 seater auditorium that will be filled every Sunday and every weekday, so that I can teach people the word of God and open their eyes to the realities of the kingdom. Okay, and I should be able to do this within these couple of years. Something like that, it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, and it should be realistic. Okay, so when you have the goal in this specific raw form like that, you need to ask yourself certain questions. What can I do now that will ensure that I'll be able to attain this goal that I've set before me? Remember, planning is the process of thinking and organizing. So you need to think about the various things and activities that you can do that would result or that would contribute to you achieving that particular goal. Okay, you need to sit down and think about it and organize them in a manner that will ensure that there is consistency, and that will ensure that you are doing the most important and relevant things that will help you achieve the goal. But sit down, you can get a clean sheet of paper and try to list at least 50 things that you think that if you are doing consistently, you'll be able to achieve this goal that you want to do, you want to achieve. Okay, whilst you are doing this, take note of these three things. Number one, you need to pray and ask God to open your eyes to realities and things you can possibly do to allow you to get to that point where you want to get to. Number two, look for people that have achieved this thing that you want to achieve, and find out things that they did, okay, that resulted in them achieving the kind of things that they did. Read their books, watch their videos, listen to their stories. Listen, try and get something, substances that you can take up, that can help you get to, or that can open your mind to the realities of the on the ground and the things you need to do to be able to get to the goal that you want to get to. And number three, try as much as possible to incorporate these things that you learn into your daily schedule. So once you do these three things, it exposes you to various ideas and various things concerning that specific goal, various things that, or various actionable steps you can take that will help that reality, that idea become a reality. Okay, so once you have done this, or once you have used these three steps to come up with that 50 or 100 activity list, this is what you do. You ask yourself, amongst all these things that I've listed here, which one of them will contribute the most to me achieving the goal that I have? So you pick up that goal, or you pick up that activity, and you find a way to incorporate it into your daily life such that consistency becomes key and it becomes a habit. Okay, we will learn the importance of habits and consistency in other episodes. Okay, so you need to find a way to incorporate it into your life such that it becomes a habit. Sometimes these things to do could just take about an hour or so, or two of your time in a day. It could be as simple as reading 20 pages of a book a day. So if you are reading about 20 pages, depending on your goal, whatever your goal is, if one of your actionable steps is about reading about 20 pages of a book in your respective field, or in terms of what you want to achieve, usually a book is averagely like 300 pages. So if you are reading a 300-page book and you are reading like 20 pages a day for about a month, you would have read about 600 pages. That's like reading 2 books a month. Okay, and in a year you would have read about 24 books in a year. That is about 10 or 20 times the number of books an average person reads in a year. So what it will mean is that in whatever field or in whatever that you have chosen as your goal to do, or in whatever pathway that you are working, you'll be 10 to 20 times more knowledgeable or more exposed than the average person in your field. So once you get this important actionable step that you are supposed to take, once you're able to incorporate it into your daily life and it becomes a habit, you look through the list and you ask yourself, what is the second most important thing that I need to do that will contribute to me reaching or achieving this particular goal? And then it goes on and on and on and on. You don't need to rush. The thing is about having the habits and making the steps you need to take a part of you, such that when you finally attain it, it's not because you just went through certain steps to attain it. You can actually run through the steps and force yourself and squeeze yourself and put yourself through extra discipline to achieve it. That is one way to do it. And there's also another way to do it, and that is developing the habits that will ensure that even after you have achieved it, the things you did that allowed you to get there are already a part of you, and it actually allows you to be able to handle or stay relevant in that field even after you have achieved the things you want to achieve. So, beloved, it's not enough to just have the goals or ideas or visions. You need an actionable plan. Take time to actually talk to God, sit down, read books, learn from people who have achieved already the kind of things you want to achieve, and come up with an actionable plan that you can start taking or that you can start doing today to be able to achieve the wonderful things that God has planned for you to achieve. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel, okay? And share so that others can also benefit from the wonderful things we teach here. Have a lovely day. Shalom.